What is up, everyone? It's Thomas with Real Broker here in St. Augustine, Florida, coming at you live every Wednesday, besides the third Wednesday of the month, for your market stats, the news you need to know about if you're thinking about buying, selling, or investing here in Northeastern Florida. And also at the very end, we do a Q&A. So if you do have any questions, I will do my best to try and answer those. So go ahead and fire them off in the comments below. If you do have any questions, any comments of what we cover here today. And if you're watching the replay, make sure you do the same. Let's go ahead and get started here, guys, and take a look at the market stats. We're going to take a look at Northeastern Florida, NEFAR, Northeastern Florida Association of Realtors. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here just so you can take a look. And I hope you guys are having a great week. My week so far has been pretty productive. I'm pretty stoked on that. So let's take a look here. So, guys, we have been talking about this over and over again about inventory in our area and how we don't have enough inventory. And to be completely honest, at this point, I think we'd have like 1,000 to 1,500 more homes on the market than we do right now. But if you've been following the show, if you're a fan, you know that we are up a pretty good bit. Typically we're looking at like 5,200 to 5,600, somewhere in that range. So we're seeing about a 5 to 10% increase in listings over these past couple weeks. And maybe that's because it's the end of the summer and things are really starting to, slow down. Summer is the hottest season for most real estate markets. And I don't think we're any different here. Also, July is a vacation month. So a lot of people are out and about, buying a house, selling a house, not exactly what they want to do. So let's take a look at the last week in the market here. So new listings, we got 1,194 new listings to close, 931. So roughly, let's say that's 1,200 and that's 900. So roughly 9 out of 12 homes that are on the off the market. So that's only leaving about 3 behind. But with that 3 behind, we are seeing price changes, right? Because competitive with the 1,200 listings that are coming on. So we've seen 1,452 price changes over this last week. Now let's take a look at new listings versus under contract, which we group together as pending and contingent taking backup. So contingent taking backup just means that it's contingent on inspections, appraisal, mortgage commitment, whereas pending is just another way to say it's under contract. So some people just put it straight into pending. Some people do the contingent taking backup. It really just depends on the agent. But for our purposes, under contract is what we're going to call it. So we got 840 pending and 381 contingent taking backup. So in reality, let's just say that's 1,200 homes to 1,200 new listings. So for everything that came on the market, we had 1,200 homes pretty much go off the market that aren't available. And then pretty much the same amount that's contingent taking backup, they fell out during the contingency period. They're back on the market, more than likely during the contingency period. If not, then they're having mediation between the seller and the buyer, which no one wants to do. No one wants to go to a lawyer over this. So back on market, 318. So pretty much the same thing as new listings to close. So about every 9 listings or every 12 listings on the market, 9 are going off. So things are moving very steadily here in our market. That also brings me, I was talking to an agent in Pennsylvania, and I've talked to agents, I talk to agents all over the country, but talking to them in the central Pennsylvania area, in like Harrisburg, Lancaster, Hershey, York area. And she said that it's like 24 to 48 hours she lists a home and it goes under contract, which I lived in that area for a good bit of time. And it's pretty staggering that stuff like that is going under contract so quickly. But she says it's still a good influx of people coming from New York and New Jersey, getting away from that higher value area, moving to central Pennsylvania. I believe the taxes in central PA are a little bit lower than Jersey and New York. But 24 to 48 hours. The best homes here, they're going in a week, and that's still very, very fast. Homes used to take 90 days to sell. And now like our average days on market is like 32, so it's pretty nuts how I think this is here to stay, though, to be 100% honest, because the speed of the market seems to be a lot more agreeable for people, right? Like if you had to sell your house in order to buy a home, that was a whole process before, because you had to wait for a buyer to get under contract. And obviously we were in a completely different market several years ago. But if you're looking to do that, this market kind of, if you're selling your house, you probably find a buyer and then you can do it quickly. So you're a stronger buyer for the home that you want to buy, right? Because if you're trying to buy a home here in St. Augustine, let's say, you got a house to sell in New York or Pennsylvania or Jersey, and you're trying to make it happen all at the same time, so you don't really use the proceeds from this sale to go into your next one. Well, that's a lot of moving parts. And if one area is lagging, let's say that you can't get your home under contract, that doesn't make you look like a strong buyer. So the further you are in the process on your home that you need to sell, makes you a stronger buyer for the house that you want to buy. I said buying like 95 times there. If you think that's funny, leave me a buy in the comment below. So let's go ahead and take a look at our first news story here, guys. I got a couple good ones, so excited to cover this stuff. And the first one we're going to talk about is not that one. That one is going to get a little spicy, I think. But this one here is something that I have been talking about. I'm excited about this. I hope this project moves forward. Proposed 38.4 mile commuter rail corridor would operate between downtown Jacksonville and St. Augustine. So they do have a image of what this would look like. Of course, probably have to play it. I'll little bit about it, but they're talking about creating a 38-mile train between downtown Jacksonville and pretty much downtown St. Augustine, right down the street where I live, which I'm really stoked about. We've talked about in the past where Browdy's liquor market was going to be turned into a commuter rail station, parking garage for downtown St. Augustine, commercial retail space, and also multifamily housing, which I think for that little corner right on West King would bring a whole bunch of development out on West King, which we're already starting to see, to be honest. But at the same time, it would provide a lot of relief for the traffic. Oh, there we go. Boom. Okay, so let's see if I can't maximize this here. So you can see up here, this is downtown Jacksonville, and it wants it to stop in Jackson Square. My mistake. They want to stop at Avenues Walk. They want to stop at County Road 210, which is right up by St. Vincent's Ascension. And then they want to stop at Palencia, which is right off of US 1 and connects right here to International Gulf Parkway. And then they want the stop right here at King Street, which is what we're talking about here. So it looks like they're identifying these other stations for further analysis. I mean, I definitely think having more stations, especially if you're going to put this in, would definitely benefit the area. But of course, there are people that are not excited about this as much as I am. And that's because it comes with other things. One of the residents here said that, it seems like the rail component is going to be decided or kind of looked at a later point, but they think that the residential, the mixed use, the commercial stuff can stand on its own. I'm not sure how the economics support that without something that's driving people there. So he's talking about in downtown Jacksonville, he says that he likes the idea of the commuter rail, but it seems that all these residential commercial projects that they say that is going to come along with this commuter rail has already started long before that, and that's because downtown Jacksonville is also changing drastically. Some major developments happening over there with really Shad Khan and the Jaguars, and the waterfront within Jacksonville has been talked about for years and how they're going to turn it over. And just give you a good idea, the Landing was one of the main places to hang out in downtown Jacksonville, which was a pretty cool spot. But the best restaurant in downtown Jacksonville for that little outdoor cool hangout area was Hooters. And listen, I'm a big fan of Hooters. I like it. It's a great little restaurant. They got great wings. But to have that as be kind of like the center focal point of the city is not exactly what you want to look for, really. So there's been a lot of development happening down there. A lot of projects have been pushed forward. And I'm hoping that commuter rail goes with that. And that's also what Daniel Henry is also looking, hoping that happens as well, because it, one, provides an easier mode of transportation where we see, if you watch my live streams, we see that people complain about traffic, right? But if you've lived in any other city, the traffic here is really, it's nothing. If you've lived in Orlando, Miami, New York, LA, all those places have major traffic issues, right? But, pretty much any major city compared to here, we have a breeze of traffic. If there's an accident, it's going to be stopped. That's what happens. But if there's not, everything moves pretty smoothly. I took my dad to the airport last Wednesday, and it took us 50 minutes from my house to get to the airport. Here in St. Augustine, you're going to North Jacksonville. His flight left at 7:30. We got him there at 6:30. So we went right during rush hour. Was there a little bit of a slowdown? Yeah, but it wasn't anything crazy. So people here just happen to be very spoiled because they never had traffic. So if you have had traffic in the past, it's definitely something that you shouldn't worry about when moving to Jacksonville or St. Augustine. So let's go ahead. We'll go on to the next news story here, guys. If you have any questions about what I just covered, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again. Also going to try and get a little bit of water in here. Speaking a lot. So let's see here. Oh, it's the same one. Not that one. Okay, Vilano Beach renourishment underway. So the Army Corps of Engineers will work 24/7 for the next 8 months to get the dunes restored. We had some major hurricanes last year that really washed away a lot of the dunes that protect, the homes and the roads that go along in Vilano Beach. Of course, there's an ad here, so I can't show you everything. But in total, it's going to be 2 million cubic yards of sand, which will be pumped to about a 3-mile stretch of beach, which is it's a lot. And if you were to guess the price, I think it's $62 million of how much sand they're bringing into the area. And people are against it, and people are for it, of course. If you live in Vilano Beach, you're 100% for it. If you live anywhere else, you're kind of like, well, that's a lot of money for something that's going to erode anyway. Nature puts it there and takes it away. Puts it there and takes it away. That's kind of what it does with the tides and ocean waves coming in, and also major hurricanes. So people think that it's kind of just a waste of money. I don't know. I'm not a scientist or anything. It does seem to happen a good bit that we keep bringing sand in and it keeps getting washed away. What do you say though to the homeowners that live there and they want their homes protected? That's a tough conversation, right? And I'm sure some federal state money maybe is going towards that. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it's still a good chunk of change, 62 million bucks just for that stretch of beach. They're actually going to be starting St. Augustine Beach. They're going to be doing the same thing over there starting in November. So we will see how that works. Also, we are kind of in hurricane season now, so these guys are going to be out there. They're going to start working, and it's going to get washed away. Why not wait till November, where hurricane season is over, and then go about it? But I guess maybe they're that worried about this next upcoming season. So we'll see what happens. Let me know what you guys think about that. You think that the county should be paying for that, or if the people are just SOL, sitting on their $1 million beach houses? That one blue house still hasn't sold, and it can't sell because they have sea turtle nests under it. So the one house that was on stilts because all the sand was eroded away from it, now they can't take it down and demolish it because there's sea turtle nests under there. So they're protected, can't do anything about it. So they got to wait until the sea turtle nests hatch and move on. So such is the beach life, guys. That's what it is. So let's head into the next news story here, guys. It's a Q&A with a representative from the school district. And I know that's important to a lot of you guys looking to relocate here. Of course, all these links will be found in the description. It does take me a little bit to upload them. It's not automatically done. But can you comment on recently released results of last year's end of year testing? This is something cool. We were first in the state in 16 of 21 elements, up from 15 last year. So they improved in one area. I think that's pretty great. Now, I believe that we're only number 2 school district in the state still. It's 2 years in a row now. But being number 2 ain't so bad, when there's, I think, 36 school districts. Question, what is the latest on the construction of the new schools? They're about to turn dirt on the Rivertown kindergarten through 8th grade school. And then the school is scheduled to open for 2025 and 2026. The other 2 schools that are going to go in Shearwater and Beacon Lakes are on track for the opening time of 2024 and 2025. This is also something, and it goes along with the growth of our area. Beginning this school year, we will have 2 regional superintendents. So Mr. Forson recognized that St. Johns County is on the cusp of being a large district and that our principals need more support. So they essentially broke it up into 2 sections so that there'll be 2 superintendents. Kathy Hutchins will be the K through 8 elementary school superintendent, and Kyle Dresbach will be the high school and special program superintendent. Basically, they're there just to provide support to the teachers. Is there time to still register your children for school? Yes, but school starts tomorrow, so you better get on that. And that's also a pretty crazy time here in St. Johns County. I know a lot of my recent buyers and sellers here in this area are getting busy with getting these kids in school, and that's not a fun thing to do. I don't have any kids. I don't have a dog. Don't crucify me. Maybe have kids in the future, but I don't envy you guys right now. Seems that everyone's running around with I couldn't even get a haircut this week because all the spots were taken up for kids going back to school. I'm like, that's why I look like this, you know? So I saved the best one for last here, guys. So let's take a look at this. Now, I don't have an opinion on this, to be honest. I don't follow politics. I don't watch the news. I just really focus on like the economic news. I don't follow really anything that DeSantis does or Trump or Biden, whatever. But freaking ads. But apparently, DeSantis anti-woke bills are costing Florida millions of dollars in business. So this is coming about where he has put a whole bunch of new bills signed, which I'm not exactly a big fan of, you know, just one person deciding what our state is doing. But it's travel advisories warning the state is openly hostile towards people of color, immigrants, women, and LGBTQ plus community members. The fallout is starting to spread a key economic artery for an income tax-free state, heavily reliant upon tourism and taxes, Florida's convention business. So they've had conventions pull out and say, hey, because of how hostile this environment is, all these new bills, we're not looking to spend our money there anymore. And tourism is a big reason, a big income for the state of Florida. So they're saying that's costing us thousands of visitors and millions of dollars because that Florida has seen as an openly hostile state. Now, Ron DeSantis has come out there and said that this is just media jargon and that this is all BS. I haven't looked into the bills myself. I definitely feel like maybe I should start educating myself because if people are watching my channel looking to move to Florida, just being informational on those products or on those topics, I think would be beneficial to people. So maybe I will start looking into it, but I'd really like to know what you guys think about this, especially if you're out of state or if you're here in state. How does this make you feel? What's going on here? I'd really like to see what you guys think. So let me know in the comments below. I appreciate it if you did. But that was actually our last news story for the day, guys. So I'm going to be next Wednesday, I believe is the third Wednesday of the month. Is it already? Oh my gosh, it is. So the third Wednesday of the month, I will be at West King Wednesday. They have a comedy show. They have a market. It's really cool, great little vibe. A drum circle if you're into that. But yeah, they're having it every third Wednesday of the month. I plan to be there. The comedy show is a great time. It's only $10. It's held at Paper Route. It starts around 8:30. Big fan of it so far. I'm a big comedy fan, and they've had some really great acts come through there. So super stoked on West King Wednesdays. But I'll be back the following week, hopefully with some more news stories for you that are important to you guys. So appreciate you being with me here tonight. Until next week, guys, if you do have any questions about what we covered here, drop in the comments, reach out directly. If you're thinking about buying, selling, or investing here in Northeastern Florida, make sure you reach out to me directly. I'm here to help. I'm a low pressure sales guy. Whenever you guys need help, I'm here for you. Until next week, guys, see you.